Good morning. I'm about to introduce you to a boat that you are going to fall in love with. It's a 25-foot Ranger tug, and what a cutie pie. This boat just has it all. What I was doing this past weekend was I was assessing the vessel for use kind of in the passenger trade, but it's more of a client perk type of thing, so it's not going to be chartered vessel, but more of just a gift that my client gives to her clients when she sells them a home. She's a realtor, and she wants to be able to take people along the water and show them homes on the water, as well as thank them for purchasing from her by giving them a little trip on the boat. So it's not really a charter boat, kind of like a bareboat. She doesn't have to have a captain. She could run it herself, but she just wants to be able to be freed up to talk with her clients while I run the boat. And we wanted to go through and assess some things. I arrived at the boat with 3 pages of what I wanted to accomplish for the day. And my main goals were, first of all, to meet U.S. Coast Guard safety equipment requirements to ensure that the vessel is in compliance, but then also in compliance with federal regulations, but then also all those things that aren't required, but for safety you need anyway, like anchors and things like that. The other was to assess the vessel for use in the passenger trade. This is bringing non-boaters onto a small, lightweight boat and paying special attention to passenger safety, their comfort, and I knew I would be specifically looking at noise, vibration, and engine smell. I thought of a better way to say that the other day. It's not engine smell, but noise, vibration, and engine emissions to make sure that passengers are comfortable all the time. And then my third prong of this was to assess the owner's concerns and priorities for her events, and that was some trip planning, some figuring out what speeds we would operate, items like that. So I arrived at the boat with 3 pages of items that I wanted to check, and I was so glad that I did, because when I got to the boat, I was like a spastic squirrel. I was so in love with the boat that I'd look at this and I'd look at that and I'd look at that, and I was all over the place in my notes, but at least I had a list, and so I eventually covered everything in my list in a bit of a random order. So here's how it went. I hope you find this useful, because it's an extremely thorough look through on this boat. The owner did have the survey from the previous buyer, but she did not have her own survey done. With a 25-foot boat, you're thinking, how much can go wrong? And actually, there was very little wrong on the boat. There was a whole lot right, but there were some things that I looked at and realized that we could make even better, specifically for the passenger trade and for her clients. So here goes. I've got a checklist, and I am going to start from the bow. Just like I do on any boat, I'm going to go bow to stern above decks, bow to stern below decks, and check all of the equipment and check and see how everything operates, and just do kind of like a familiarization and get familiarized with this boat. Isn't she a cutie? Her name is Lulu. Here is my plan for today. Today, I'm going to be looking at this Ranger tug, and it's a real cutie. I'm going to be assessing it for client comfort, for passenger comfort, and see how we can set things up so that it's most comfortable for passengers, clients, crew, and this is my day today. Well, here we are on the gorgeous little Lulu down at St. Augustine Marine, and I am beginning to, I'm beginning to run through the safety gear, and I was going to go bow to stern above decks, but I'm doing below decks because it's a little bit of a warm day, so I'm just running through to see things like fire extinguishers, flares, sound producing devices, and check expiration dates on all those, and just get myself a little bit familiar with how the boat moves, and get a feel for her weight, what her tonnage is. I think she's about 3 to 4 ton, so that's going to change a little bit of how she operates here at the dock, and just going to check through some things. I had planned on going through everything in a logical order, but I got so distracted by going through cubbies and figuring out what's where that I haven't really gone in a logical order. So I'm just sort of getting familiar with what is on the boat and where things are on the boat. Where's the panels? Where's the controls? Where is stuff? Found the battery switches. Found the engine. Woo. So I'm just going to continue doing some checks. This is a really interesting spot. I'm wondering if, so the top comes off and it's got like a lift on it right here. And I'm wondering if this used to be a shower or what it was, but it's like a little bunk under here. Perfect for children with a hanging locker. I'll have to ask what the original intention of this area was. Let me see if I can back up and show you. See, why would that top come up like that unless it was a shower? But there's a head here with shower. So, I don't know. We'll find out. All right, I've run through a lot of things below decks. I haven't even gotten into electronics yet. That's not that much of a concern either. They work or they don't, but I want to still work on some of the kind of the dynamics of the boat and how things are accessed and keep doing some evaluation for passenger comfort and safety. I think I'm going to have to ask my dad, does he know of a solution when there's been spray that comes in and kind of discolors areas? Is there a solution for that? Can you bleach it? What do you do? This is that kind of, it's almost like a carpet that if you scrub it too much, it's going to look really fuzzy. It's flat calm out here today. Perfect day for checking things out. And I'm going to check and see what it is like to trot forward to deploy the anchor. Or do you just always do the anchor from inside? I believe you do. But I'm going to go up here and look at it anyway. On the anchor, I found that the down control for the windlass works, which is the most important one because that's the one I would need in an emergency. I also found that the up foot pedal did not work, but that's okay. I can raise it by hand, and I'm sure that'll be addressed later. And also I learned how to release the brake and then open up the clutch so that I could completely release the anchor entirely manually in the case of some type of an electrical failure. All right, now that I've gotten over the need to look at every locker and figure out what's where, I want to do some big engine looks. I know the light is all wrong. It says no step right there. At this point, I sort of feel like everything needs to come out of every locker. Every locker get cleaned and things put back in a logical order. No need for oil in 4 different places, that sort of item. But I'm really glad to see the access here. I thought the only access was that little one in here through that step, and I was pretty concerned. So now I can see what we've got. What I'm seeing down here is a lot of corrosion on the engine mounts, and so that's a question if they're structurally in good shape. Also got some through-hole fittings over here. They're a little bit difficult to operate, but that could be just that they haven't been operated in a while. Looks like this is our main coolant over there, and we got 2 more through holes over here with filters on them. I can see that somebody has tried to add, and this is something I figured that I'd be recommending for a nice big engine like this. There's going to be some vibration, and vibration equals comfort or not, and noise. And we want to make sure conversations are able to be heard, and this definitely needs to be tacked in. And we might be looking at, yeah, it's got that thick layer in there, but we might be looking at something a little bit with even more of a sound dampening for this engine. Don't know yet because I haven't started it up. She might purr. Might be super, super quiet. I think these are for a ladder that goes over the side. I wonder where the ladder is. I see a water fill there. What's with the extra cable hookup? Because there's a cable hookup here. And also I do see there's this garden hose fill. Luckily it's closed because of course you never want something to fail and fill your boat with water. I did find that the port running light is installed upside down, and what that means is the shade is covering the light instead of opening it up for the area where you want that arc to show. So there's some couple little irregularities like that, but if you assess passenger safety, I mean, look at the rails here and the steps. This is all absolutely perfect, and the cockpit looks very, very safe. I can tell you that with the diesel engine in the aft like this and people sitting in the aft, when you are running with the wind, you're probably going to have to jibe back and forth to keep the fumes off the people back here. You simply run a broad reach and then jibe, run a broad reach the other way just to keep the fumes off of them. Now, is that not the most clever thing ever? I was wondering why the seat folds like this, and it's so that you can have more galley space. But more importantly, got the engine going, getting used to the throttle controls. I'm looking for, where do I see my RPMs? I don't see that. And I'm also looking for, what was the other thing I was looking for? Yeah, RPMs, that'd be the main thing. All right, so I'm kind of assessing vibration and noise. She's purring along. I'm going to get back here and open up the locker. Cute shoes. I want to see her running. The noise is not horrific. One of the first things, a super easy fix that we can do right off the bat, is we can put rubberback rug here, and that would help deaden some of that, would help some of the sound that's coming through here and there. That would be one of our options. That would be a low budget option. I want to know where this prop is in relation to the header. I guess I need to get out the manuals again. And I want to know about the trim tabs and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I am now, trying to figure out what RPMs I'm running at, because I want to come up with a chart of what RPMs are really most comfortable. All right, so I discovered the really cool thing where you fold that seat forward to make more room in the galley. And I kept looking at the seat over on this side, and I kept seeing these spots for feet. And it makes sense. There's like looking ahead and spots for feet, and there was a hinge here. And so I finally sorted it out. Well, let me see if I can show you. All right, so that is when you're sitting here for the settee, and then you simply pull aft and then flip the back up, and then I'm not sure why this is tacked there. Oh, a cushion goes there. Okay, got it. That's one of those cushions that is down in this mystery spot right here. So I will grab this cushion and see if this is the one that fits. No, it's not. But anyway, that would be so that your co-pilot or two can sit here with you and view where you're going. All right, I figured it out. I just had to follow the pattern. So for this seat, the pattern is striped, but then for the bottom seat, it is the one with the knots. So that is sorted out. So you've got a great spot there for the person at the helm, and spot for two people to sit right there. Somebody's got to tell me, what is the purpose of this? Is it, oh, maybe it's just so that if you were sleeping in this bunk, because it does look like you could stretch your feet that way. If you were sleeping in this bunk, that way you don't feel so claustrophobic. Oh my gosh, the cool stuff just keeps coming. Check this out. I opened this locker and figured out this is where your co-pilot puts their little bevies. And there are the footrests. How about that? Because here would kind of obstruct your view and they might fall off. So isn't that smart? And then of course the helms person has their own cup holders. One for coffee, one for water. Wow, wow. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? There's your footrest. Here's the forward part of the settee that folds so that you can look forward. and then you fold it the other way, and it becomes part of this settee. And then back behind here and under your feet for there's another little cabin. Your feet scooch way under there. See if I can come this way and show you. And the lid lifts up, I guess, so that you're not claustrophobic. But that's actually a little bunk under there. And then that settee would face this way if you were eating, and then you face it the other way for being underway. Now look at that. That is an absolute little cutie, isn't she? I hope you found that tour of the Little Red Tug really useful. I know it was a little bit disjointed. I kind of went from item to item because I was so excited about the boat. I had my checklist, but I didn't necessarily go in order because I kind of went in order of where things were on the boat. But I did cover all of the items that I wanted to cover. And I think in a separate video I want to run through all of these things with you because there's 35 years of knowledge that I am pouring into the safe operation and comfort operation of this vessel for the passenger trade. And I want to tell you a little bit more about the boat. So please subscribe, look for a notification because the next video out will be the one where I go over in great detail everything that I did on the boat, all of the recommendations that I made, and I think it could be really helpful for you as well, just for the comfort of your passengers, but also if you are even considering going into the passenger trade with your vessel, things to think about that are beyond just compliance with federal regulations. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.